What has been the delay?
Just the legal side, really. They refused permission, did Leyton Orient, and then turned down a further approach, and then turned down my resignation. So that meant, in effect, that I had to work a 7-day period. That was the issue, to be honest, which I've done clearly now, and the compensation will just revert back to the contractual situation, which has now been agreed by both football clubs, so we can move on.
And your contract, what is it at the time?
Will it be 2 years, the rest of this season and next season?
And what have you been told your aim should be this season?
Well, frankly, to get as high up the league as we possibly can, to get into that top 6 if at all possible. We've left ourselves a little bit of a battle at this moment in time with the position that we're in, but there are still 35 games to go, so that still gives us a realistic opportunity of getting in the shake-up.
So you've not been told you must be promoted this season? Because he's a demanding owner in Vincent Town.
Yes, he is, but I think he's realistic enough to see the position that we're in at this moment in time, and if we can get a top 6 finish, I think that will be realistic and it would be an achievement, and from that situation, who knows, you can still get in the Premier League from those playoffs.
Were you surprised to get the call from Cardiff City?
To a certain extent, yes, but I think as a League One manager, you're always looking for that opportunity, and it's about opportunities. And obviously, when this opportunity came along, I thought it was an excellent one, a club with huge potential going forward, and I felt as if I'd done the miles.
Yeah, you've got a very decent track record, but in the lower divisions, what difference do you think you'll find in the Championship? And what do you say to fans who look at that?
In terms of management, Rob, I don't see any different. Management is management. 4/5 of the job is management, and maybe a fifth of the job is the coaching, and we've got the coaches around us as well. As much as I want to be on the training field, as I was yesterday for the first time, so I don't think it changes from that point of view. I think I've got a lot to bring to the table in terms of the 650 games that I've probably done now, and you never stop learning, really, do you? And we're all learning, and I think I've picked up a lot of good things from different people that I've worked with over my time in football, and obviously I've got my own way of doing things now.
Do you feel you will have to win over sceptical fans?
Of course, I think that's the same at any football club when you go in, and the only thing that will do that is performance and winning football matches.
What is your style as a football manager? What is your sort of ethos on the field?
Well, certainly the ethos, there's two things there really. The ethos has to be one of a great work ethic, a desire, my team to play with a togetherness and to bring the club together so we're all pulling in the same direction. That's a big thing for me, and those values and character as well, those values to take onto the pitch are massively important. I believe in attacking football. I like to go forward. I like, by and large, to play with 2 strikers up front. Mainly at Leyton Orient, we were 4-4-2, or a version of 4-4-2 with a bit of flexibility. It might be a slightly 4-4-1-1-ish or a lopsided 4-4-2, but I like to try and get 2 strikers up the field. I like to go forward. I think we scored, I think we were second highest goal scorers, something like that last season. So clearly I like to get the ball in the box and create opportunities.
Does Scott Young become your assistant, and what do you make of the setup and the players you have here? Because it seems to me that you're very rare, and that a manager usually comes in and has to get sort of bring in players, but you may have to get rid of some. But can you answer those?
Yeah, well, let's take the staffing issue to start with. Scott will be a big part of what we're doing. He will remain with me as an assistant at first team level. The rest of the structure will come together. That's something we've got to look at clearly, because there was a few members of staff that departed with the last regime, So we will need to organise that. Talks will be ongoing. I have another conversation again, meeting the owner this evening to go through the structure a little bit more in a little bit more detail, and of course the playing staff, because it is a big staff. It is a big squad, and arguably too big, and that's something that we'll look at. So there may need to be in the short term some wheeling and dealing to get to a sizable group, talented group, and there is talented players here, of course, but the right type of player in terms of going forward that we might want to bring in as well.
What do you make of Vincent Tan?
I had a couple of very, very good, honest conversations with him. He wants value for money. I feel that's what he wants from his football club now. It's a big budget here. He's put a lot of money into it, and I think he wants real value for it. And going forward, you know, we're going to have to roll our sleeves up, work hard, and he wants that work ethic. He wants that honesty on the pitch, and I'm hoping that together we can provide that, because I think that's the way forward anyway.
And have you had to seek any assurances from him that there'll be no interference in team selection?
No, I think he's openly come out with that, hasn't he, and concluded that, of course, he's the owner and he's entitled to an opinion, but it will be me that's picking the team, Rob.